Welcome to Rev Sports. I'm here at the Mullanpur International Stadium, and South Africa have leveled the series. A heavy defeat for Team India. Lots of experimentation that we've seen tonight, and what warranted that experimentation is the question that we're asking tonight. Shomik, starting with you. The number one question tonight is, of course, we'll talk about Sky, we'll talk about Shubman Gill up at the top, but Akshar Patel, when India was 4 for 1 in the second over, what warranted that move?
Because I mean, beggars belief, simply beggars belief, Gargi. I mean, I have no clue. Akshar Patel coming in at number 3 and Dubey is batting. He's coming when the game is already lost. 50, whatever, 50 odd runs left in 12 deliveries, and Shibham Dubey is coming at number 8. It is very difficult to comprehend. It is very, very difficult to comprehend. Uh, I mean, we know about Rainer Schmeckels. If I am allowed to draw a football analogy, we know about Rainer Schmeckels and his great Holland team of Cruyff, Nisken, think the total football. Maybe this is the cricketing version. This is total cricket. Akshar Patel at number 3 and Shibham Dubey at number 8. But the fact of the matter is that um, there has to be some logic. What from a distance, I'm we don't have the and I keep saying this again and again. We don't have the properties of a fly. We cannot stand. We cannot sit on the dressing room wall. So I don't know about their thought process, but from a distance, it just defied logic.
Bharat, we're all trying to grasp at straws here because we're all trying to understand the reasoning. We're trying to understand the logic. Was it because a left-right combination was trying to be continued? But at that point, 2 overs, 1 wicket is something that usually happens in T20. T20s, it's not as if India had lost, let's say, 4 wickets up at the top, and you needed an Akshar Patel to come into the attack and stabilize the innings. None of those things happened here. Yet, if I were to ask you, what do you think is the reason that so much funkiness happened with the batting lineup in the past few games that we've seen? Can you grasp the logic behind it?
Oh, no, no real logic behind it. All I can say is I think he's trying to experiment a lot. So he will keep sending someone else. Maybe tomorrow he will send another player at number 3 and hope that he can succeed. The only thing I can offer is Akshar Patel is also left-hander, and Gautam Gambhir, from what I know, is very big on having left-handers somewhere up the order. Though Abhishek Sharma himself is a left-hander, so there is no need to have another one up there. So I don't have any real logic behind it. The ball was moving around. Marco Jensen was definitely using that wobble seam to great effect. And in such conditions, I'm not very sure Akshar Patel is a good way of going about things. The only thing I can say is Gautam Gambhir is big on left-handers and he wants to always experiment. So he's using his bilateral series to see how Akshar Patel will do if he's promoted up the order and see whether he can score some runs.
I have a little bit to add here, and it's a question. If you are not focusing on the left hand right hand combination, like when Akshar Patel was sent in one in the one down position, both Abhishek Sharma and Akshar Patel are left handers. But then why not send a Tilak Verma at number 3? Because he's far more comfortable playing at that position instead of promoting a lower order batter up the order.
And Devashin, you can take this as well. I think the point here is, why do you need to send Tilak Verma up the order? I don't think there's anything that warrants that. Yeah, Devashish, go ahead.
Akshar Patel was tried as he's tried as a floater in the T20 World Cup final as well, if you all remember. He was in fact promoted up the order in that final against South Africa, and that might be the reason that the team management is giving chances to him just to see whether he can fit the bill. And it's no fault in trying. Means obviously this is the time to just try out a few options, and perhaps that might be the think process in sending in an Akshar Patel at number 3. See, then The same panelists would have said, ah, what a great move it was had Akshar Patel fired. Had Akshar Patel scored a 40 or 20 balls, then we would have all said that it was a great knock by Akshar Patel because he is in the team as a floater. He is in the team as a floater, and he is included in the side to add flexibility to that Indian team. If anyone objects that why Akshar Patel has been promoted, I think that was the one logic because he has been tried in the past as a floater. So that might be the only reason that immediately at the fall of a left-hander.
Yes, Shamik.
Devashish, I respectfully disagree. The thing is that yes, I totally agree that Akshar Patel, and it's about we all saw it at the T20 World Cup, last T20 World Cup. He was being used as a floater, but floater at number 4 and 5, not at number 3. Number 3, number 1, number 2, number 3, irrespective of formats you are
But
playing.
but
That's for the
your
special.
captain
That,
is your captain is not firing at number 3.
that is
He is low
yes.
on confidence.
Now we are coming to the crux of the matter. Now we are coming to the crux of the matter, because see, until 2024 World Cup, when Rohit and Virat were there, so Rohit Sharma were opening the innings and Virat Kohli at number 3. That was the fixed batting order. So Rahul Dravid never tinkered with those three positions, because irrespective of the formats, the game of cricket, the first three positions are for the specialist. Yes, and if you look at the situations, those matches were basically low scoring affairs. Be it the final where Virat Kohli's 70 odd was the highest score, and even during the Pakistan game, Group League game against Pakistan, when Akshar came at number 4 or number 5, that was also a low scoring game, 120 India scored. So, but here you are chasing something in excess of 200. And when you have someone, and Mohor, I totally agree with Mohor, when you have someone like Tilak Verma is cut out for T20 cricket. He is the informed batsman. If you are unsure about Surya Kumar Yadav, send Tilak Verma. Akshar Patel cannot be the number 3 when the ball is moving around. The ball is darting around a bit. If it were absolutely flat, then I understand. Okay, Akshar Patel go and can plonk his front foot and give it a tonk. But when the ball was moving around and the ball was darting around, then Akshar Patel cannot be on number 3.
And Shamik, the point that is brought up here now that we've gotten into this conversation of Surya Kumar Yadav not firing at number 3, if you need, and if it has come to a situation where India has to send in Akshar Patel at number 3 because Surya Kumar Yadav is not firing, what is that saying about who is calling the shots in the dressing room? Because Surya Kumar Yadav, I don't think will ever say, "Oh, I don't think I can do this. I think Akshar Patel needs to go ahead of me to save the game." I don't think any player in their right minds would ever say something like that. That would be the defeat of self belief. So, what is
I
it? Who
know,
is calling the shots here?
see, Gargi, I know Surya well, and he is the nicest blokes in the circuit, and he is a fantastic cricketer, is a proud cricketer. He will never say I will not, even if his willow has
Exactly.
turned even if his bat has turned as thin as a carrot, he will not say that I will not.
Exactly.
He will never shirk the responsibility. So Surya is not like that. So I know him. So from that point of view, you can join the dots. Who is calling the shots in the dressing room? You can join the dots. We cannot criticize in the sense it's just one defeat, and they are having a golden run, especially in T20 cricket, and it's just one defeat. So everyone is allowed to be cut some slack. But today, I would say it was a tactical harakiri.
100% it was. 100% it was. And, we all have been discussing the same thing that the top order is not firing, Shubman Gill is not firing, Surya Kumar Yadav is not firing. And not every day will be a day where a Hardik Pandya or a Tilak Verma or Shivam Dubey will come in and save the game. And tonight was that night, unfortunately. Mohor, your thoughts on Shubman Gill at this point? Do you see it becoming a huge concern at the moment?
Honestly speaking, yeah, it is because consistent failures no 50 plus scores. But it's really, it's different, because when we look at both for Shubman and Surya Kumar Yadav, if I talk about them, if we look at IPL numbers, again, I know both very different styles of game, but again, T20 formats, both of them have done really well this year in the IPL. Both of them were in the orange cap race. Both of them have 600, 650 plus scores. But it's really concerning as to what is happening in the international level. Um, I don't know. Maybe it's the I don't know. Maybe it's the outside noise or the pressure of captaincy or vice captaincy. It's unknown, but it is a matter of concern, especially when both of them are in leadership positions, and the T20 World Cup is quite near. And there are, of course, there are competent players waiting in the wing. They have to step up as soon as possible.
I'll just a point to it on Shubman Gill. See, Shubman Gill is a kind of player, very much an orthodox player. So
Hmm.
in T20 cricket, if you look at how he plays, is one of his go-to shots is to come down the track
Hmm.
and try to loft. So that is something that perhaps doesn't go well with T20 cricket, because in T20s, if you notice, a lot of batters can play in the crease, maybe use the crease, go back in the crease, and then clear the front leg, and they try to hit it over mid wicket.
Hmm.
So they don't really charge down the track all the time. So somewhere the bowlers have understood, the pace bowlers have understood. They also know how to watch the feet of the batter, see what exactly is his footwork, what exactly is his movement, and they understand that he's mostly charging down the track to the pace bowlers. So I think that's his go to shot. That's his practically main stroke. So somewhere he has to expand his game if he really wants to succeed in T20 cricket. I think that's a fact. It's just not going well for him in T20 cricket, and the strike rate is not exactly as it should be, and he doesn't play too many shots, aerial shots. So that
Hmm.
is why I think he's struggling in T20 cricket.
But
Devashi,
is
the
that what
moot
he's
point.
trying to do? I'm feeling like hitting too many aerial shots right at the start. I'm just not
Yeah,
talking about today's game in particular, but in general.
yeah, but
That could
but
have got
T20
any
cricket is
top order batter out.
Hmm.
And initially, every batter at the start of his innings is susceptible to an outswinger. So
Hmm.
no complaints why Shubman Gill is out here. Yes,
Hmm.
last match he got out
Yeah,
playing a lofted shot.
that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
You can find him at fault. But today
Hmm.
it was a
No, no,
pure
no.
outswinger start of innings, only couple of
Great
balls.
ball.
It can get
there's a
any
bubble
batter
seam.
batter.
Yeah, but
You
I just
nailed
said
it, Devashish. You nailed it, Devashish, in the sense that
So
today I
every
will
time
cut.
Shubman Gill fails, it
Today
starts
I will
crying.
cut Shubman. Today I will cut Shubman Gill some slack, because getting that delivery first up,
Yes.
it is difficult for any batsman,
Hmm.
especially the first ball. The first ball, he got a very good delivery. First
Hmm.
ball. So, but at the end of the day, all said and done, we have to accept the fact also, irrespective of your talent, irrespective of your qualities, irrespective of your range, ultimately it is the numbers on the board. Whether you have the numbers on the board, a player would be judged whether he has numbers on the board, whether he has been scoring runs. Maybe it's still not that concerning, but if it continues for another one more game or two, one more game or two, that would be a serious concern.
Absolutely. And a little bit of credit to the South African bowlers as well. I think Bharat pointed it out in the work group that some of the deliveries have been brilliant from the South African bowlers. And you know that this is a very strong bowling lineup. And in the first T20I as well, I think in one of my shows as well, I brought up this point of South Africa bowling versus India bowling, and South Africa looks like a much more stronger side at this moment. But Shamik, the next question that I wanted to ask you here is, since we're talking about Shubman Gill up at the top, Abhishek Sharma keeps his place. He's solid. He's bringing in those performances. Never looks out of touch so far. But when we talk about Shubman Gill, if we come to a conclusion, or rather, if the management ever comes to a conclusion in the next couple of months, let's say that Shubman Gill doesn't make it into the playing 11, you don't even have a fallback. You don't have, yes, you have Sanju Samson, yes, you have Yashashvi Jaiswal, but none of the backups have had game time.
Hmm.
I think over the next 8 games, Sanju Samson will be given some game time. Whether I don't, Shubman Gill or any other player, that I don't know. but they are keeping him ready as a reserve opener. Sanju Samson has been kept as a reserve opener, and he will get another 8 T20Is left before we go to the T20 World Cup. So Sanju Samson will be given some game time, and at the end of the game, it is the performance that that is what it matters. Whoever you are, even the great Virat Kohli and the great Rohit Sharma, when they were going through a follow period, their numbers were put under the scanner. So if it can happen, there was a phase when Sachin Tendulkar was not going scoring runs consistently, and he was going through a lean patch. So that too was put under the scanner. So if it can happen to the giants, it happened to the likes of Sachin Tendulkar, Rahul Dravid, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli. It can happen to Shubman Gill also. Shubman Gill doesn't get into the side by default that he is the vice captain, and by default of his position as the vice captain, he doesn't get into the side. He will have to score runs eventually. He will have to perform, because if he doesn't score, very very capable players are sitting out. Very very capable players are there on the bench. So the selectors might have to bite the bullet, but the Indian team is bigger than anyone else. So they might have to. One thing about Shubman Gill is that before going to England, he changed his stance, made it more side
Yeah.
on, and made it more orthodox with an eye to test cricket. I don't know. I'll have to talk to coaches, competent coaches, not any random run of the mill coaches. But I have to talk to competent coaches to understand whether that is creating a problem. Because this is something that a competent coach can analyze.
Committees also had a change of guard, and that trigger movement has also been changed there, because before England, Shubman would stand at leg stump, and now he's gotten into standing at the second stump and sort of opening up with his trigger movement as well to
See, I
negate
for
that
one,
injury.
I am absolutely not. If it is the problem, and
Huh.
we are not the,
So I'm not
and
saying this
we
is
are
a
not.
problem. Yeah,
No, no,
I'm
we
just
are
saying
not the
that's what the
person.
change
We are
was.
not the persons. We are not the people to say whether it is a problem or not. But if it is a problem, then I don't want Shubman to change his stance, because I want to see him as a test cricketer. Right. At the end of the day, a player would be judged by his test exploits, not T20. But what is the problem? We are not qualified to comment on that. It is for a competent coach, a serious coach who has been there and done that. In fact, going ahead, I plan to talk one of the most respected coaches in India to get to the
Abhishek
bottom of
Nair?
the truth. I will not name it here. Abhishek Nair will not
Okay.
comment, because no, Abhishek Nair is on now on Star TV. He is not, but one of the very very respected and competent coaches to get to the bottom of the problem, because there is no point talking to any random run of the mill coaches. Any run of
Absolutely.
the mill coach.
Absolutely.
You have to talk to a proper coach.
Yes. Okay, final couple of minutes on the show, final couple of comments, super chats. Let me check. I don't see any. All I see is Shubman Gill PR. To everyone calling us Shubman Gill PR, please open your ears like this
They
and
are
listen to what
listening.
we're trying to say. We are criticizing Shubman Gill at the moment. We are saying if he wasn't the vice captain, will he warrant a place in the team? So just pay attention to what is being said. I think it's very important. This happened in the morning as well. Shomik and everyone present here, I did a video that it was along the lines of, if India were to play a World Cup game tomorrow, how many of these players would make it to the playing 11? And the first two names that are in doubt were Shubman Gill and Surya Kumar Yadav. But Shubman Gill's direct competitor here is Yashasvi Jaiswal. Yes, Sanju Samson is an opener, but Sanju Samson's direct competitor is Jitesh Sharma because of the wicket keeping position. So I spoke about Sanju Samson a little later, and obviously spoke about Gill versus Yashasvi first. And people watched the first 5 minutes and came to the conclusion that I was defending Shubman Gill. and did not bother to listen to the entire conversation where I said that the only reason Sanju Samson is out of the team is because Shubman Gill is in the team. So that's how, you guys are some really strong quadriceps to the kind of jumps you are taking to conclusions.
Gargi, I would like to also hear from Devashish on this matter, both Surya and Shubman Gill, because he has covered a lot of cricket for more than 2 decades, and he also knows things
So
inside
you
out.
mean to say
So,
that you drop a captain and a vice captain when 9 matches
so
are
I
there?
would like to hear from him also his
With only
assessment.
8 matches to go before the World Cup? With 8 more
Exactly,
matches to go, you want to drop your captain and the vice captain from the 11?
it's exactly. This is a
Is it
very
the
very valid
solution?
point. Very very valid point. How do you do that? Because you have if
You
it
have
were a
you have
mistake.
odd you have odd by picking Shubman Gill at the first count. You have odd by picking Shubman Gill at the first count. You shouldn't have picked Shubman Gill. Now that you have picked him and made a vice captain, would you want your vice captain to be dropped? Just 8 more matches to go before the World Cup when India plays the warm-up game in Navi Mumbai.
Exactly,
So I think
exactly.
that is
Very.
not logical as well. That is not logical and that is not the solution as well.
See,
So
you have already bitten the bullet. You have already bitten
Yeah.
the bullet. You don't know. You have to. I mean, very very logical point that with 8 more matches to go, how do you drop your captain and vice captain? You have to hope that and given the quality they have, we expect and we are hoping that they will eventually come good.
Of course.
Yeah.
They have the
And to
potential.
finish the show, I will say two things. One is there's a very famous saying which goes something like this: "The only way out is through," and that's the catch-22 that the Indian team and the Indian management is in right now. And the second thing I want to say here is being in Australia, being in Sydney during the Border Gavaskar Trophy in 2024, you don't want another Sydney to happen. You don't want another captain sitting himself out, dropping himself. You don't want to see that. But on that note, we'll take your leave. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. It's been a long day, I know. We'll try to wrap up. And of course, we'll be back tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. I'll be back with another video. So don't forget to join us then. Thank you so much.